Thank you all for sending questions for the Friday Q&A. Remember, guys, if you want your questions answered, description box down below with all the details on how you can send me questions. Let's get this one started. Jack Dolly asked, most undeserving King of the Ring winner. Billy Gunn. For sure, Billy Gunn. I mean, Mabel, you could see how he could have became a big star for the company, but Billy Gunn, really? I mean, he's a good hand. He's a good wrestler, but come on, not a freaking main eventer. Snowdrop asked, what if Kanye West's gimmick was constantly interrupting superstars during promos? That'd be fucking awesome. Could you imagine how much more entertaining Cena and Heyman promos would be? Excuse me, Paul Heyman and John Cena, you guys are cutting good promos, but growing up Bella was the best thing I've ever seen. It'd be fucking hilarious. He'd be a great little troll for the WWE. I'm surprised when Kanye first did that to Taylor Swift that the WWE didn't do it more often with some of their superstars. Just surprised by that. The Chase Allen asks, what were your thoughts on the CM Punk storyline back in 2011? A really good storyline that the WWE dropped the ball on. They could have made Punk into a mega star, a larger-than-life superstar, someone that we can relate to, of people who want to quit our jobs and wish that we could have the power like CM Punk. It would add a character dimension to CM Punk, but no, let's not do that. Let's have him come back 8 days later and ruin the whole storyline. So it was a potential great storyline, epic storyline, you could say, that got ruined. Travis Nelson asks, why isn't Sheamus in the world title scene? Instead, he is wrestling for a mid-card belt that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, mainly because that injury to Sheamus kind of hurt his position on the card. You know, when you get injured and you're out for months and months of the time and your name is not John Cena, you know, you kind of lose your spot on the card. You kind of lose your spot on the roster. You know, Sheamus, it's not like when he came back, it's like everyone's like tuning in and waiting to see Sheamus like people are with John Cena, whether you love him or hate him. You know, him coming back is still a big impact to the fucking company. And, you know, with Sheamus, he just probably lost his spot on the card. You know, you would think this guy should be fighting for the main event scene. I truly believe if Daniel Bryan didn't get injured, they were going to try to find a way to do a Sheamus and Daniel Bryan storyline during the summer. So, yeah, maybe it's just because of that injury. They don't know where to place him on the card at this moment. You know, they're trying to find ways to build him up to be strong again. Who knows what they're trying to do with Sheamus, but that could be the possible reason due to his injury that he suffered in 2013. Superman asks, what do you think Chris Benoit would be like if he and his family were still alive and well? Alive? Benoit would be a road agent. Daniel would be, you know, doing something. And Nancy would be Nancy. Largest 85 asks, do you think that Mitch will ever make it to a major company like WWE or TNA? Up to Mitch, man. Mitch works hard at it. Yeah, he could possibly make it. It's up to him, though. He needs to work hard in his craft and to keep on improving. I mean, he's still young, so he has a lot of years in him if he keeps doing up this wrestling. So it's up to him, man. At the end of the day, no matter what you do in your line of work, it's up to you for you to succeed. Chris Stark asked, if you were a wrestler, what would your theme song be? Can't Be Touched, Roy Jones Jr. That'd be my theme song for sure. Elliot asked, who do you think has a bigger ego, Triple H or Ronnie Radke? I think so many people are probably going to be like, who the fuck is Ronnie Radke? He's a crappy rapper. Triple H, because he's actually successful with his big ego, while Ronnie Radke is just So yeah, Triple H for sure. Mr. TNA 2005 asked, if Scott Steiner had a live sex segment like Edge, either on Raw or Impact, who would you want to get to be the girl? The girl would have to be Lauren, the announcer that would interview Scott Steiner sometimes, if you remember her, you know, Mr. TNA 2005, like every Scott Steiner TNA promo, he would always have that blonde girl with her, and he would always flex and work out. Like, I think that'd be a fucking hilarious segment between them. I mean, it looked like he wanted to pork her really bad in real life anyway, so why not? Michael Miner asks, I have a question. Out of all the indie wrestlers that are doing amazing, how would you book a 5-star PPV, and what would you call it? I don't really follow independent wrestling all that much. I know of names, but I don't follow it religiously. So I really can't make you a 5-star pay-per-view. You know, I can give you some match types that I would have. I would have like a ladder war, an Iron Man match, probably a 90-minute Iron Man match, because that would make all the internet fans go crazy. I would have, you know, maybe like some gimmicky Ultimate X match. I don't know, whatever the internet fans like nowadays. They always change their mind. A strong style Japanese match. And I already got the name for the pay-per-view for you, man. Wet Dream. It would be called Wet Dream because it's everyone's wet dream seeing their favorite indie stars go at it. You know, I just don't know what kind of matches I would put on the card, dude. But if you allowed me to use WWE superstars, oh, my main event would be a triple threat Iron Man match between CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Dolph Ziggler. I think a lot of internet fans would love that. Redwood316 asked, what were some of the worst WrestleMania decisions made by WWE? Having Hogan and Sid main event WrestleMania 8. Hogan winning the title at WrestleMania 9. Triple H retaining against The Rock at 2000. Triple H beating Orton at WrestleMania 25. Hogan and The Rock not main eventing 18. Booker T not winning at the World Heavyweight title at 19. Rocking, no, Cena and Miz going at it in a double countout just for The Rock to come out and make it into a fucking match again. Like, that was stupid. Rock and Cena billed as once in a lifetime when it was going to be twice in a lifetime because the WWE knew they were going to do this at WrestleMania 29. So why label the first one once in a fucking lifetime, you morons? There's just so many, dude. So many bad booking decisions by the WWE, or just even outside decisions. Those are just some that pop in my head. Like, seriously, Hogan and Sid main evented. Fuck off. Redwood316 asks, what were some of the worst WrestleMania... Oh, no, I already answered that one. Gochi Man asks, is Roman Reigns slowly becoming the new John Cena? Ask this question again in January, Gochi Man, because right now I have to see how he's booked for the rest of the fall time. By then, I'll have the assumption if he's the next new John Cena. So, ask this again in fall time, and I'll answer it. Joe Juicy asks, what wrestler could you see dead in the future? Well, people have to die at some point, right? I don't know, man. You have to be more specific with this question, like WWE wrestler, TNA wrestler, current wrestler, old school wrestler. Like, you have to be more specific with this question. Really, to be honest, I would probably have to say Bobby the Brain because his health is not looking really great right now. So, probably Bobby the Brain. Mr. Juicy asks, if Roman Reigns surpasses John Cena as the top babyface in the WWE, would they finally turn Cena heel? No. Because Cena would still be the number 2 babyface. Or the number 3 babyface. So they wouldn't need to turn him heel. They could still make ad revenue out of him being the number 2 and number 3 babyface. So no, they wouldn't turn him heel. Why? I mean, seriously, there's no reason. Like, it will take 4 or 5 other guys to surpass John Cena for him to finally turn heel. Because if you're still the 1, 2, 3 top babyfaces, that's good enough for you to still sell a lot of merchandise. Seriously, so no, they won't turn Cena heel unless there's more than one superstar who surpasses him. I said, what I mean by that is, like, Cena, he will give up his top babyface spot if there is someone bigger than him. But he won't turn heel unless there's more people bigger than him as babyfaces. That's just the bottom line when it comes down to it. Greg Toomer asks, why do so many talented wrestlers get misused? Companies not knowing how to book them, top guys in certain companies not wanting to let go of their position because they're getting paid 7 figures. They don't want to lose their spot on the card. There's a bunch of different factors why there's so many guys that are really talented that just get misused. It's just that, you know, maybe this superstar keeps getting injured. Maybe that they can't find anything to do with this superstar. Maybe the superstar has this character and gimmick that he truly believes in. But the major companies know, you know, that gimmick's not going to work. But they keep going with that gimmick even though it sucks. Like I said, also top guys. You don't want to give up your position to anyone. It's not about how much you make, it's how much you save. And they still want to keep making those nice 7-figure deals, you know, getting paid $1 million a year. Why would you want to give up that just to give someone else an opportunity, you know, that you feel is probably not going to be someone you can feud with down the line to make more money? That's just the whole point. You know, wrestling is a business first and foremost. And when it comes down to it, you know, if you're a top guy like John Cena, let's just put it in your shoes. You're John Cena, all right? You're John Cena, Greg. And then all of a sudden, you know, here comes, like, let's just say a random talented guy. I won't use Ziggler because he's actually too talented. Let's just say Kofi Kingston. Do you believe Kofi Kingston will make you more money if you feud with him down the line? Do you believe you and a Kofi feud can make you into a top billing feud at WrestleMania? Do you think you can get a big paycheck out of it? Do you feel like if you give the ball to Kofi Kingston, he's going to take this company to higher levels? That's what you have to put into mindset when you're a top guy sometimes. You know, you have to think about it as protecting yourself and as well as the person you're putting over. So really, to be honest, that's why sometimes some talented wrestlers never make it. Jay Walker asks, which tag team of Hernandez did you like least? Mexican America or his team with Chavo Guerrero? I like the team with Chavo Guerrero. I didn't mind it all so much. Mexican America, because I actually thought they were going to do some LAX type stuff with them, but they didn't do anything whatsoever related to LAX. It was just a watered-down version of LAX and a very bad one. That was one of Hernandez's worst run in TNA for sure. The Real Heel asked, what did you think of AMX versus Triple X, AMW versus Triple X in the Steel Cage match at Turning Point 2004? One of my favorite matches in TNA history for sure. I always liked when Skipper walked across the fucking cage and hit that Hurricanrana. It's a great match. You know, it told a great story. Right team went over. You know, you got to separate Triple X. I mean, Daniels was too good for the tag team scene. You needed to move him up to the X Division title scene. And Chris Harris and James Storm were just finally clicking as AMW at the time. So really, it was a great match. Definitely check it out if you guys haven't seen it already. It's on YouTube. Jake Loomis asked, do you think Mr. Parkin overpraises NXT? I can get where you're saying that, but for me as a reviewer as well, when I watch other people's reviews, I understand where they're coming from their talking points, which means I may not agree with their opinions all the time, but when they do their videos and they're reviewing the shows, that's the whole point. We review the shows. Sometimes we put our opinions in there, but most of the time we're supposed to review the shows for you guys and tell you if it's entertaining or not. To Mr. Parkin, for his entertainment values, NXT does a great job. That's him. For me, NXT sometimes is very mediocre, and I tell it to you guys straight. If you watch my NXT reviews on this channel, I tell you guys sometimes like, it's okay. It's good. And not only that, it could be, you know, with Mr. Parkin from talking to him sometimes and talking to NJ. He's just not interested in Raw or SmackDown. And he views NXT being very, very entertaining compared to those two shows, which you can't really blame him. I mean, Raw and SmackDown suck compared to NXT right now. But I always say, like I said in the last Q&A, NXT is good, but it's not by like miles ahead better than Raw or SmackDown. There's still some flaws that you see on Monday Night Raw that flow into the NXT. So really, to be honest, I just feel like he just enjoys it a lot, and if he enjoys it a lot, that's just him. You know, for me, I enjoy it for what they do bring, but at the same time, you know, there's stuff that I can nitpick and say something about NXT. You know, I'm not like the casual internet wrestling fan. Obviously, you should know if you've been watching my channel for the longest time. I don't love everything that all the internet people love, but that's just the bottom line when it comes down to it. I don't think he overpraises it. I just feel like for his entertainment value, they deliver on a week in and week out basis. Josh Chambers asked, what did you think of Jack Swagger taking too long to take the Money in the Bank briefcase down at WrestleMania 26? Oh, that was pathetic. If y'all didn't watch that live, y'all won't know what we're talking about. But at WrestleMania 26, Jack Swagger trying to take down the briefcase. That shit took a minute. I thought he was stalling for someone. I really thought he was, because if you watch ladder matches for a long time, you know that sometimes wrestlers stall because it's like, okay, just grab the fucking belt. Okay, here comes Chris Jericho sprinting back in the ring. I guess that Jeff Hardy wasn't supposed to win this match. You get what I'm saying? So I thought he was stalling for someone, but no, he was just a dumbass and he couldn't take out the fucking briefcase. What an idiot. This is how you knew Jack Swagger's run as world champion was going to be fucking bad. And not only that, the way WWE edits now, it's so bad. Like, Jack Swagger just reaches up to the sky, and then all of a sudden the briefcase is in his hands for no reason. The edit's terrible, too. Like, just leave that in there, WWE. Just leave it in there. Who cares? Just show how stupid Jack Swagger really is. Slapnuts2000 asks, what do you think of RVD and Jeff Hardy's match at Invasion? Oh, good hardcore match between RVD and Jeff Hardy. Best of their encounters? No. I think there's better encounters between RVD and Jeff Hardy. But at that time, especially with the internet wrestling community, you know, you could argue that a dream match was between RVD and Jeff Hardy. You know, you got the insane Hardy from the Hardy Boys, the dude that does all the high spots, taking on Mr. PPV, Mr. Television, Rob Van Dam of ECW, both really exciting high flyers at the time for professional wrestling. So you could say that's kind of like a pseudo dream match for a lot of people who were probably on the internet at the time. So it definitely delivered for, you know, their first encounter. John Cool asks, why does WWE have to give NXT guys generic first and last names but not a cool name that fit their character? I don't know, man. I think it's more or less just because they want to own the names of these superstars and they think, oh, this name sounds cool, let's give it to them. I mean, they have names down there like Buddy Murphy. Like, are you kidding me? There's a guy down there named Buddy fucking Murphy. God damn, that's a terrible name. And maybe it's also because sometimes I think maybe the superstars have inputs of their names, so maybe they think, oh, this is a cool name. Could be the case, but who knows? Mark Gochi asks, why does every indie guy have to go through developmental, even though most of them have been wrestling for more than a decade? It's to learn the WWE style, Mark. You know, the WWE has a certain style. You know, you have to dilute your move set so that way you're not doing too much moves, because the WWE style is like, you know, more of storytelling than it is a pure match basis. That's why a lot of indie wrestlers, they've been wrestling for a decade, but there's some art forms they probably don't know, like the art of selling, the art of storytelling, the art of this, that. You know, there's a certain style into the WWE that these guys have to learn for TV purposes. Because remember, at the end of the day, WWE is like a TV show. In the TV show, you have to tell a story. You know, you have to tell a story in the TV show, right? Well, in the matches, they have to tell stories in them. So sometimes they have to get diluted in their movesets and they have to learn that thing. And also, the thing is, when you're in the WWE, you are not only just a pure wrestler, you're also an actor in some ways. You have to do corny, funny skits. You have to play different characters than you did on the indies. Like, you know, for example, I'm just going to say Davey Richards, for example. Davey Richards could come into WWE and they would probably want him to play like a cowboy or something. Well, Davey Richards would have to learn how to act like a cowboy, and that's why sometimes they have to send them to developmental to work on their characters and tool them up a little bit. So yeah, that's why some wrestlers go down to developmental. Even though they've been wrestling for a long time, it doesn't matter. The WWE has their way of doing things, and they want you to learn their way. That's just the bottom line when it comes down to it. Final Limits asks, on GTA 3, have you ever collected all the hidden packages? Nope. I don't like GTA 3 all that much, man. I Love Watermelon 525 asks, on GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, which are your favorite pedestrian quotes and pedestrians in general? I don't really have favorite pedestrian quotes. I like more what your characters say to the pedestrians than you do. Like when CJ takes money, like, oh, thanks for the cash. Or when you hit someone, he's like, oh, you hit me. I guess when the pedestrians yell at you while you're driving really badly, like, fuck you and stuff like that. But other than that, don't really have that much pedestrian quotes. Favorite pedestrians are the ones who can give me money. You know, I kill them, I get money. That's all my favorite pedestrians in GTA games. Those strippers, those hookers, those pimps and drug dealers give me money. That's all I care about in GTA, especially in San Andreas. You need a lot of money in that game. Sherrod Horror asks, what if Hogan and Cena were a tag team in the 80s? New Mega Powers, brother. They'll just pretty much be like the Mega Powers. Look at the Mega Powers storyline. Throw Cena in there instead. Yeah, that'd be a good tag team. You would definitely get a big WrestleMania match out of them. Lino Gino asks, what do you think of Renee Young's work? I like her as an announcer. No, not as an announcer. As a backstage interviewer and as someone to host a pre-show, her announcing work, does need some work because, you know, I hate when I'm watching a match where she's commentating and she's all like, oh, what a move. It's like, okay, you've seen so much more cooler moves, Renee. Don't act like just because like Kalisto hit like a spinning DDT, you're all freaking out about it. Like, I just feel she overreacts sometimes to some of the moves a superstar hits. I don't know if that's something that they're telling her inside of the earpiece while she commentates, or if that's just how she naturally commentates. Lonalo asks, have you read TNA spoilers for Lashley? I didn't read them, but one of my friends did message me on Skype, Gold Standard 000. He said, oh, Lashley lost the belt, and he forgot that I don't read TNA spoilers or like to hear TNA spoilers. So he told me, very upset. And it's also fucking stupid because apparently that episode is going to fucking air after Bound for fucking Glory. That episode is going to air after Bound for Glory, yet Lashley still has to walk into TNA champion at Bound for Glory. It's so fucking stupid. I hate it. Nintendo Fanboy 1998 asks, who would you pay to see a Lashley versus Lesnar in a title match with both of their titles on the line, winner takes all? Sure. Why not? I'll pay for it. As long as Lashley wins, I'll be cool with that. You can't beat me. Destroy Lashley. John Cutt asks, what if Bryan was around in the Attitude Era? He would succeed. I think he would do well. You know, not as well as I think he would have done like in the 80s with the whole Yes thing. I don't think the Yes thing would get over in the Attitude Era. But I definitely think he would have his place. Definitely, you know, that icy European title guy for sure. Why not? Maybe a tag team. Random tag team with him and Chris Benoit. That sounds cool. Justin Side asks, what if there was a wrestler with the same name as you debuting on NXT called Chase Oliver or Chase Liver? Chase Liver? Chase Liver? Or do you mean Chase Bolivar? I don't know if you forgot something there. But I would love it. That would become my new favorite superstar. That would be so fucking awesome. I like the title of that NXT review would be like NXT review, Chase Oliver debuts. And especially if like, I don't know if the WWE watches or wrestlers watch my Q&As or indie wrestlers watch my Q&As or whatever. But, you know, especially it would be funny if that person was to mock me, was to make fun of me. I would fucking love that, dude. I would just be like, yes! Especially if he had the same mannerisms as me. He acted like me. He talked like me. He walked like me. He was just an asshole. I would just fucking love it if they were making fun of me. So I wouldn't care, man. I would just make that guy my new favorite wrestler of all times. For real, dude. Chase Oliver. That'd be sick. I don't even think Chase, but I don't think they would give someone that kind of name. I mean, Chase Oliver is a really simple name, dude. It ain't exotic enough. It ain't like freaking tough enough. It's just like so fucking generic. But I would love it if they did do that. Jack the Talking Dildo asks, what's your favorite villains in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? Officer Tenpenny. He's the only villain, man. All the other villains suck dick. Tenpenny's the man. Brony Loney asks, what if Scott Steiner mentioned your name in a promo on TV? Fucking mark out. It'd be the best moment of my wrestling fanhood life. Just having Scott Steiner live on TV, like, been watching some Chase Oliver videos, and he talking about me. He's saying that I cut bad promos. And even though I love you, Scott, but he would probably say that in the promo. He'd be like, I hate this man so much, I want to kick his fat ass out of the building. So I would love it. That'd be the greatest fucking thing of all time. Randy Bassetti asked Q&A, what if Scott Steiner became a judge on American Idol? You can't sing, you're fat. You can't sing, you're fat. You're fat. That'd be fucking amazing. I didn't like how you sang that song. You sing in a rap song, but then you change it and you make it into a rock song. And then not only do you do the rock song, you do the rap song. And you had a chance, but you lost that chance. And now you don't got a chance anymore. You fat asses. Be amazing. You wouldn't understand what the fuck he's saying. He's critiquing songs he doesn't understand. It'd be hilarious. I love it. I would try out for American Idol just to impress Scott Steiner. Jack Trice asked, what if Gail Kim returned to WWE? Would you like to see her feud with AJ or Paige? I don't know if Gail Kim will ever return because of her standing with the WWE company. But if she did return, AJ, yeah, they can put on some good matches. I just can't think of a feud that I could do with Gail Kim and AJ. Gail Kim and Paige, I can think of a feud. I definitely could think of a feud between Gail Kim and Paige, and I think they would put on really good matches. But with AJ, I don't know, man. Like, it would be good, but it's just that I don't know if they would mesh well in the ring. That's the thing. Gail Kim and Paige, I feel like, can mesh well in the ring. They can do very good technical stuff, and Paige can catch Gail Kim for her crossbody spots. But AJ, I don't know. It'd be hard to really see a Gail Kim and AJ feud. It would be interesting, but I wouldn't know how to book it. Little Fish asked, will WWE eventually bury the new talent like Kenta and Kevin Steen when they get to the main roster by watering their movesets down and making them jobbers? No. Only Vince and Kevin Dunn will do that. Yeah, probably. You know, anything Triple H makes into their own, they like to somehow fucking ruin it. It's true. Triple H has done wonders with the NXT roster and talent, but anytime they seem to make their main roster, the WWE and Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn like to fuck it up. I mean, see fucking the Wyatt family. One of the hottest things coming into the WWE, and all of a sudden now, you don't care what happens to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has become very stale, very boring. See Paige. Here was someone that actually had a diva that actually had a different gimmick than most divas. She was the anti-diva. She didn't want to be like every other diva, and now she doesn't even have a fucking gimmick. She's copying what AJ Lee's doing. She's skipping around. She's being weird. She wants to be friends with everyone. See Big E. Master of the 5 count, someone that went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can knock you out down to 5. And then afterwards, you know, they just gave up on him. See Bo Dallas, the irritable little heel that no one liked. And then all of a sudden he comes onto the main roster. He's running kind of the same gimmick, except he's using the believe movement, saying people should believe in themselves. And then afterwards, they seem like they're going to do something with him, but then they drop the ball on him. I can name all the other NXT guys. The only NXT guys that they did really well on so far are Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. But really, the Shield, they weren't like an NXT group. Seth Rollins was just, you know, pretty much just a guy that was just a guy who won the NXT title, and Roman Reigns was like a pet project down there on NXT. Dean Ambrose didn't even make his debut in NXT until after the Shield formed on main WWE TV. See, the Shield was more of a Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn idea, so which means they're obviously going to make those guys succeed. But any idea that Triple H has for some of his superstars down there in NXT, you know, it seems like Vince and Kevin Dunn like to fuck them up. See, I wouldn't say WWE, Little Fish. I would say Vince and Kevin Dunn. Because they're the motherfuckers that like to fuck up a lot of your favorite NXT superstars. Oh, another guy. Another wrestler. Emma. See Emma. Someone that was a fan favorite. Had a fucking dancing gimmick. And just because she got arrested once, she hasn't been seen on main TV since. Or maybe she has. I don't know. I don't watch SmackDown. Reginald D. Huff asks, Q&A. Who has been sending you questions since the first Q&A? You have posted, named them all. Final Limits is still around. WCW 3 count 1, 2, 3 left. Chris Phoenix asks every once in a while. I don't think Shiroa Horror came in until like episode 8. I think really, to be honest, right now it's just Final Limits. Yeah, just Final Limits. I think Final Limits is the only one around, you know, because he sent in 10 questions for that first Q&A. It was like all workout questions too. So yeah, I think Final Limits is the only one still around from the first Q&A. There could be more, but Final Limits for sure. Reed 19 asks, what if Scott Steiner had his own TV show where he went around trying to pick up women? Hey, you want some of this, baby? Come on, come over here. I'm doing him an egg. I'm hungry. So why'd you take me to the gym? Because I wanted you to see me pump it out. Fucking awesome. I would watch it. It's not as funny as the reality show where he tries to make fat asses lose weight, but it would work. Thank you all who sent in questions for the Friday Q&A. Remember, guys, Tuesdays and Fridays on this channel. If you guys like this video, give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe down below. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseAuber68. I got great content for you guys coming all weekend long, like my NXT review, No Surrender 2006 review, and WWE Night of Champions review as well. But don't forget, also later today, I will have my NFL Week 3 predictions. Sorry I'm late on that, but I will have that up sometime tonight. I'll see you all next time. Peace.